I paid off my fiancé's $10 million debt, and the very next day he dumped me. Yeah, you heard that right, $10 million. Gone from my account, and 24 hours later, so was he. My name's Claire Monroe. I'm 30, and for most of my adult life, I've been that hopeless romantic who believes in ride or die kind of love. The kind you read about in old paperbacks with dog-eared pages. And for a while, I thought I had it. I met Evan Walker 5 years ago at a fundraiser in Boston. He had this smile, warm, confident, like he could talk a rain cloud into clearing. Everyone loved him. And me, I fell head first. We were inseparable within weeks. My friends used to say we were that couple, the one people rooted for. Evan was a businessman, sharp dresser, sharper mind, but what he never told me was that a few years back he'd made a bad gamble on a flashy tech startup that crashed and burned, left him buried under a mountain of debt, $10 million deep. I only found out because the phone wouldn't stop ringing. Creditors, lawyers, collectors. I'd see him sitting at the edge of the bed at 3 a.m, rubbing his face like he was trying to keep it from falling apart. And here's the thing, I loved him. I trusted him. I believed in him. So when I realized just how bad it was, I didn't hesitate. I told myself if anyone deserved a second chance, it was him. It wasn't like I had 10 million just lying around, but between my investments, savings, and a hefty bonus from my consulting firm, I could pull it together. I hired my lawyer, Helen Drake, to make sure every cent was documented. Technically, it was a loan, but in my heart, I wasn't expecting a dime back. I just wanted us to have a future without that shadow over him. I remember the morning I sent the final transfer. I called him grinning like an idiot. "You're incredible, Claire," he said, voice soft in a way I hadn't heard in months. "Don't think about paying me back," I told him. "Just breathe again. We've got a whole life ahead of us." That night we opened a bottle of champagne. I thought we were celebrating our fresh start trips we'd take a wedding to plan. I even slipped on the engagement ring he'd once joked we might never get to. It sparkled like a promise. And then the next morning my phone buzzed. "Claire, we need to talk." When I called, his voice was flat cold. "I can't do this anymore. I need space. I don't love you the way you deserve." I laughed, thinking it was some sick joke. "Evan, it's better if we end it now." That was it. No fight, no tears on his end. Just done. By sunset, I found out why. He'd been seeing someone else for months. The first week after I was a ghost in my own apartment, I'd walk past the wine glasses from our last night together and feel my stomach flip. I replayed every moment wondering how I could have missed it. And then my best friend Naomi showed up. She took one look at me, puffy eyes, blanket cocoon, and said, "Get up. You're not letting him write the ending to your story." That was the slap I needed. The pain was still there, but it started turning into something colder, sharper. I didn't just want my money back. I wanted him to understand that he'd chosen the wrong person to betray. I called Helen and laid it all out, the loan agreements, his signatures, every bank statement. That's when I found out about his big play, a multi-million-dollar deal with a group of overseas investors. If it went through, he'd be untouchable financially. If it didn't, well. So I called in a favor from college, my friend Marcus, now a forensic accountant. I didn't sugarcoat it. I told him everything. He leaned back in his chair, gave me a slow nod, and said, "Let's make sure he remembers this for the rest of his life." We got to work. First, Helen filed to freeze his accounts, citing the loan terms he'd agreed to. Cold. Legal. Impossible to fight in the short term. Next, Marcus dug through his business records and found enough questionable oversights in his investor filings to make those partners sweat bullets. We didn't need to go public, just the right whispers in the right ears. Within days, the machine started turning. Evan's accounts frozen, his phone probably melting in his hand from all the calls he couldn't answer. Then the news broke quietly in investor circles that his golden deal might have cracks. I stayed silent. No calls, no texts, not even a blocked number rant. By the end of week 1, Naomi came over with takeout and a bottle of rosé. We sat on my couch, scrolling through his social media. His usual cocky captions were gone, replaced with vague defensive posts. He was rattled. Enjoying the view, Naomi teased. I smiled, just watching a house of cards collapse. The real turning point came when Helen called one crisp Thursday morning. "It's done," she said. "Your funds are back in your account. Every cent." Minutes later, Marcus texted. "Investors pulled out. He's toast." I pictured him in his high-rise office, staring at empty chairs where his big-shot meetings were supposed to be, realizing every door was closing. That night I poured myself a glass of champagne, not to celebrate his pain, but to toast my own power. I drafted a single text. This time I walked away. Then I hit send. No explanation, no gloating, just the truth. He didn't reply. Over the next few weeks, I watched from a distance as his empire crumbled. Deals fell apart. Rumors stuck like glue. Every time he tried to get back up, another withdrawal, another frozen account, another partner backing out. Meanwhile, I rebuilt, moved into a sunlit apartment that felt like mine alone, poured myself into new projects at work, even started saying yes to invitations again. I wasn't rushing into anything, but months later I met someone who made trust feel easy again. Looking back, I realized the revenge wasn't the victory, it was the reminder. The reminder that I am not disposable, not weak, not someone you can throw away after you've taken what you want. $10 million bought him a moment of freedom. My patience and strategy cost him everything else. So tell me, if you were in my shoes, would you have walked away quietly or made sure he learned the hard way? Because I've learned that sometimes the cleanest revenge is the kind they never see coming until it's already done.